Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is, I don't know what we are. Today is November 3rd, 2025, and maybe this is the user's guide or the survivor's guide. Maybe this is whatever. We're just getting together and we're going to see what comes through. How's that sound, Chris?
I think that sounds marvelous, Becky. It is hello everybody and welcome to who knows what my line is.
Who knows what we're gonna do?
Who knows? Yeah, it's just one of those days where it's lots of things need to be addressed and nobody knows where to start.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about
Okay.
because, oh my God. And I'm thinking, wait, and like everything is upside down in my world. And I could get more into that in a sec, but then I'm like, wait a minute, there's a full moon on Wednesday. And then I thought, oh, let's talk about this with Chris, and then everything will make sense.
I don't know about that, but let's talk about that. And
Yeah.
I I don't I'm not being led right this minute to talk about the third eye atlas today,
Okay.
um, but soon.
Uh-huh.
And maybe that's why this is going to be in bits and pieces. I'm not real sure, but
Okay.
it is I'm calling it a Passover. And when we talk about it, that'll make more sense. But it is an energetic, it's a galactic energy that is coming across in December. So we have time to talk about it. But I do think, as with everything, every Lion's Gate, every Stellar Gate, all of those things, there's always an energy, what I call an energy setup. And an
Yeah.
energy setup in my vocabulary means that the energies are coming together, and that in itself is a disturbance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that energy all by itself can create a whole compilation of things that we're not used to, or um, can bring up things that we feel like we have, oh my gosh, I took care of that, I let go of that eons ago.
Yeah.
But there's still stuff way down deep that get brought up when energy setups are taking place. And
Mhm.
I think I understand this is only Monday, and my week pretty much should have started on Monday, but since my week kind of went last week into the weekend, through the weekend. I did have a slight break yesterday, but um, I still had really in-depth discussions yesterday. So really, my week hasn't ended yet from last Monday.
Mm.
So it's kind of a continuing theme and a continuing conversation that has been going on for over a week now,
Mhm.
of why is this energy feeling, and it has so many different feels. It's been described to me as everything's came to a screeching halt, or everything in my world seems to be upside down,
Mhm.
or I've lost all ability to focus, or I
Mm.
absolutely have no more energy to give, and all I'm doing is napping or staring out into space.
Mhm.
Um, some people are like, the thought of food is making me absolutely nauseous.
Mhm.
I can't get enough to eat. It is simply energy that is absolutely all over the place.
Mhm.
That's
So
one of the.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So I guess so no matter what, you're noticing that people are having a like I could myself included just today, even probably in preparation for the call, like so that we do talk about this, is just our bodies are doing things that they don't normally do, we'll say. Right? Yeah. And so
Yes.
you feel that this is a setup for what's happening in December. Yeah, so I'm listening. So tell us more about what's happening in December.
So in December, there is going to be a huge that major shift that everybody's been talking about, and we've seen snippets and glimpses of it.
Mhm.
It's going to really become engaging.
Okay.
And it will amp up, and it will and it will slow down, and it will amp up again, and it will slow down, and it's not a matter of days, it's a matter of time. I'm not going to put a specific for this conversation of what the time is, because I'm not even really sure any of us really have a real crystal clear understanding of how much time, other than
Mhm.
we all know it's going to be hyper vigilant. And that doesn't mean, oh, it's going to be horrible. Doesn't mean it's going to be good. It just means that wherever we are in this
Mhm.
shift, it's going to be intense.
Okay.
And so that is part of the setup, as I call it.
Yeah.
And that's just my term. That's
Yeah.
not a real term.
Right.
But the energies are coming together to prepare for this, and some are coming together for protection.
Mhm.
Some our energy, some is not our energy. Um, but it's all converging in the same space.
Mhm.
And that is not anything other than the grand design or the
Mhm.
blueprint. Um, and so it's nothing to be concerned about. It's nothing to be worried about. It is, however, something to be aware of.
Yeah.
And right now, I think that really is the biggest thing, the biggest message that the universe is giving us collectively is everybody take a few breaths, slow way down,
Mhm. Mhm.
listen, focus, pay attention, be present in the moment. Stop
Mhm.
thinking ahead, stop thinking behind, live right now. Don't worry about where you're going tomorrow. Don't worry about where you were yesterday.
Mhm.
Simply be present now, because
Yeah.
that is going to be learning our focusing on being present now is the
Mhm.
thing that will help us not ruminate or go down the rabbit hole later on.
Yeah.
Whether that's the rabbit hole of what's in the past, or whether it's the rabbit hole of what's in the future, really doesn't matter. The rabbit hole is still the rabbit hole, and we go
Mhm.
into that from both sides. We sit and ruminate when, oh, I wonder what they meant by that. Or I wonder if I'm going to be affected by that. Oh, I wonder if this is going to happen. Ooh, I ate that. Wonder if it's going to make me sick. We simply do that all day long.
Mhm.
So whether it's past, present, or future, if we can be calm and be totally in the present and not let these external things get our attention, when the roller coaster starts, we will be securely braced in our seats, and we can just go along for the ride.
Yeah.
It's when we stop and try to look backwards, or we go, well, we did this before. Well, whatever we did before is not going to work now. It's not supposed to work now. The energies
Mm.
are not the same. The frequencies are not the same.
Mhm.
It's like, well, I used to wear a size 6 shoe. I like these shoes. I'm going to go ahead and buy them. well, I'm not 10 anymore, or however old I was when I wore a size 6. So we grow, and we grow physically, we grow emotionally, and we grow, and mind, body, spirit, we grow.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is another one of those growing times. So for me to say, well, I used to be able to, or I used to do, it's like the pair of shoes. It no longer fits. So
Yeah.
so ruminating or staying in the past isn't doing us any favors, and it's actually causing enough friction in us now that
Mhm.
it's not healthy. We've come to a place where thinking, rehashing, reliving is not healthy, even if we're doing it for reminiscing purposes.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing is we're using our past
Mm-hmm.
by reminiscing about it. Yes, occasionally you hear from a friend from college, from high school, from your old neighborhood, and you catch up for 30 minutes. That's one
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about constantly talking about where you grew up, or where you went to college, or the job you had when you were 32. What we are doing is we are avoiding the thing that is giving us anxiety. So we're taking whatever it is that the body, mind, and spirit want to work on,
Mm-hmm.
and we are using the past to not have to deal with it.
Yeah, that's really, I love that. So it's for avoidance to ruminate. Yeah, I catch myself doing that crap, and that stopped. For those of you who are tuning in now for the first time and did not know, I had it out with my father in August and his wife, and I cut that energy off so damn hard. And what that did when I came home, when I did that, I stopped ruminating on the past because I was doing it unconsciously. And I'm like, wow, well, that's gone now. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. It felt fantastic because my brain was doing it on my own. And I'm like, God damn it, what do I still have to keep thinking about? And, why do I always go back there? What? Soon as I did that, gone.
Yes, and I love that you brought that up, and I appreciate that you brought that up, especially open and honestly,
Hmm.
because that was a specific thing. So you saw the past, you saw it for what it was.
Yeah.
Now, as we've talked about several times, this whole moving into the fourth and fifth dimension is about becoming aware of the need to take a few steps back. I can see this.
Hmm.
Now I need to learn how to take a few steps back so I can see this. And once I'm able to do that, I take a few steps back and now I can see this. And so
Mm.
it's all about learning how to take a couple of steps back.
Hmm.
And that doesn't mean we're going backwards, but sometimes we have to take a backward step to be able to focus and bring more awareness um, into our vision and into
Yeah.
what we can see, because we do get tunnel vision. So
Yeah.
as you do that, as you go along and you say, oh, why am I doing that? When those things come back up, or those feelings come back up, simply pay attention to, oh, am I talking about my hometown more?
Hmm.
Am I wanting to go visit my friends in my hometown? Because
Hmm.
that has nothing to do with dad on the surface,
Hmm.
but it has everything to do with that energy as a collective.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that will be very interesting for you to look at that and say, oh, I keep bringing up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where I grew up. I keep bringing up my old schools. I keep bringing up, or, oh, I really want to go. I've been 4 times to see, I went and saw my sister, my best friend, and my ex-roommate because they all live in the area, when I could have added one more day and seen everybody one time. It's
Mm.
not about not going to see the people you want to see. It's about, oh, I could have added one more day and been there the whole time. What is it that's causing me to go one, come back for 2 weeks, go back, come back for 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
anything
yeah.
along
Yeah.
those lines. It doesn't have to be that specific, but
Mm-hmm.
anything in that vein of mindset is what we're
Mm-hmm.
looking for. So that was one example.
Mm.
There's many, many, many more examples, but that was simply one of them.
Mm. So getting back to 1 second. There's a hold on, are we doing so sorry for the little cat interruption. So let's go back to avoiding, right? So if my brain was doing that to avoid something, and now my brain is not doing that because maybe I confronted something or, decided to move forward, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. What what was I what was my unconscious trying to avoid? I don't know. Or what is everyone I don't know. I'll just let you talk.
I think what I hear you asking, and correct me if I'm wrong, um, I've been very fortunate the last, I'll say, 4 or 5 days. I've been in several different meetings of different kinds.
Mhm.
Um, and one of the things that keeps coming up is pretty much what you just asked or said.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things out there as we've been on this journey since 2020, known that the journey was beginning to happen, circa 2012. um, we've worked through a lot of things and we've made a lot of accomplishments in our growth. We've
Yeah.
achieved, we've let a lot of things go. What is happening as this, third eye atlas is coming into our atmosphere, um, we there's still a lot of that we thought we had released, that it's finding the little microcosm bits and pieces
Okay.
going into every cell in our body.
Okay. I like
Not
that.
simply what we think of or what, um, subconscious or conscious, but now it's pulling it up out of every cell in my body. My whole molecular structure is is it's bringing stuff to the surface. So
Yeah.
I am being inundated some moments, and then I can go for days and nothing. And then all of a sudden, every single little thing I thought I had worked through is coming back up to the surface, and I'm having a reaction, which I hopefully turn very quickly into a reply or a response.
Right.
When we have those things happen, it's unsettling because I think I handled this. Or,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I feel like I'm being attacked.
Mhm.
Not necessarily from people. The energy itself is kind of in a offensive kind of mode almost. Not
Yeah.
literally, but, and I thought I had worked through this. What we
Mm-hmm.
immediately want to go to, what am I doing wrong? And the answer to that is nothing. The answer to that is for us to shift and completely shift every aspect of that person, place, or thing that we needed to resolve or relinquish or whatever we needed to do with it. Every aspect of it needs to be healed. Not simply this part or this part or this part. The whole energy needs to be healed. And so the remnants of this that have simply been laying dormant for however long it's been, you know, for some people it could be 10 years, some people it could be 20 years. However long it's been, to have those things pop back up is very unsettling for most people.
Yeah.
And so if we know that that's what this energy is about, and this energy is about bringing even more three-dimensional stuff up to the surface for us to look at, assess, heal, cleanse, relinquish. It's not nearly as frustrating or scary or any of those other things, because we know that, oh, this is something that merely needs to happen.
Yeah.
And the client that I was with right before we connected, very, very clear in her session that that's not only going on in her life, but she could just sit there and just, and it's happening here, and it's happening here, and it's happening here, and it's happening here. So she created a whole picture of how all of the things that the world thought they had worked through, or that this group of people thought they had worked through, or these individuals thought they had worked through, and we're finding out we only had the ability to heal part of that. Now this energy is moving around, and we are having the opportunity to finally heal all of it instead of part of it.
Yeah.
And again, that's not going to mean that if I had an accident, the accident is still the accident. Healing is all of the energy that went around the accident, whatever kind of accident that was. But the healing is the energy around that accident, my emotions, my perception, my need to blame, my grief, any of those things. If I'm still holding on to one cell of that emotion, it's going to come to the surface so that I can heal it. And that's what this energy that is coming in December is all about, is bringing everybody's stuff up to the surface at the same time, people, places, and things, so that we can do a massive healing.
How exciting.
I think so. I get excited about a lot of stuff that people go, ooh, and it's like, I'm one of the, there's a speech that I'm asked to give every now and then, and I start it every single time, and have for years. This is the most exciting time in the world to be alive. And with all the stuff going on out in the world, you can imagine the looks and the comments that I get from that statement. But when you begin to do that thing of taking a step back and seeing the bigger picture, when you get to a certain point and you can see enough of what's coming and what's in front, what you see is that this is changing humanity slowly. I agree. In a really bizarre way, I agree. But it is changing humanity for the better. It is creating a softer way of doing things, a softer way of believing, a kindness, a supportiveness. And we see those things everywhere. The media, powers that be, quote unquote, they don't want us to see those things, so they keep things stirred up. Yeah. But if you step back and you see, like our group, Women for Women, that is about supporting women and our role in life. There's no specifics. It's simply we're there for each other, and we get together once a month, and we are there for each other no matter what we need. And sometimes the group is very personal, and sometimes it's not personal at all, and it's everything in between. But we're there for each other. When we see all the fundraising that we've had in this immediate area, simply in the past month, and with all the things we hear about how bad it is for people out there, the amounts of money that we have raised for all the different things that we've raised it for is astonishing, because you would think there wouldn't be a lot of it floating around freely right now. But that giving, that supporting, that beginning to understand that it's all about us taking care of each other is growing. But if we're not fortunate enough to kind of be involved in that, yeah, we're probably not going to see it as much as somebody who went to the fundraiser or was involved in getting the food or the door prize or whatever. But those things are growing, and there are 1,000 other different things that are happening around the world where individuals are creating that new way of life. And there's lots of terms for it. Some people are calling it New Earth. Some people are calling it the Ascension. Some people are calling it going into the fourth and fifth dimension. The universe really doesn't care what name tag. It really wishes we wouldn't give it a name tag at all, but we have to have titles, so it's okay. So you and I chose the fourth and fifth dimension because that's a scientific term. It doesn't bend into something other than a frequency. So it keeps it simple. But there are lots of different ways to explain it, and it still goes back to that very first episode that we had where we talked about this evolution of man, this humanity, this shift, this whatever we want to call it, is about us changing us first.
Yeah.
Because in this particular reality, there is nothing we can do about anybody else's energy. We can't create it for them. We can't manipulate it for them. We can try, but it's not going to work in the long run. So whatever is happening, even if things are being suppressed or violent or whatever it is, it's temporary. And we see that. We have to look for it. The media is not going to show it to us. but but it's there. And so we see this change. If we had done this podcast 9 years ago, if one person had watched one episode, we would have felt like we were accomplishing something. People are out there listening and researching and watching these types of podcasts, seminars from Dr. Joe Dispenza or from Lee Harris or from Cryon, from Bashar. There are many places to get this kind of information, and we all say it a little bit differently because if we all say it a little bit differently, we will eventually weave it all into the same, because the message is the same. The words are just slightly different, but the messages are the same. And so there are people that are searching, there are people that are sharing, there are people that are asking questions. No one is higher in the chain, no one is lower in the chain. All of those things are essential for this progression into a different energy. And the energy is not a woo-woo thing or a mystic thing. It is literally physics. The energy of the planet, the energy of the universe, the energy of everything is shifting. We only need to look at our own planet to know that. She's having fires here and hurricanes here and tornadoes there, and then she's perfectly quiet. And then she starts up again. Yes, she's always had hurricanes and tornadoes. These are different. These storms, her not spinning her core the same way, all of these things are different. The planets all aligning on one side of the sun, different. When we all did our models in school, the planets were here and here and here and here and here in a circle. Well, nobody ever went to school and took planets and put them in a straight line.
Yeah.
So we have visuals. We have our own feelings. We have, wow, look at all the stuff going on during a full moon. Look at where the moon is moving, how it's coming up one place, going, yes, it's always moved, but it's different. And I've heard a lot lately, the sky itself looks different. I never really paid attention to it till 4 or 5 people kept saying, have you noticed the sky? The sky looks different. I was like, no. So I went out and I looked, and I looked a couple of times and went, they're right. And it's not about the trails, and it's not about the sky itself. Has a different something. I can't put my finger on it, but I can see what they're talking about. So things are shifting, and we are nature. So as nature shifts, we are a part of that nature. We are a species like all the other species. And so we will shift accordingly. I think the reason you and I, or I know for me anyway, the reason I really wanted to do this was, I hope we haven't scared anybody. I hope we have given information that is educational and calming, but to let people know that whatever they're experiencing, they're not alone. and that this is universal, and this is everything moving into another frequency. And it's not negative. It seems negative, I get that, and I see all of the horrific things, and I hear all the horrific things. But again, we cannot clean something. We don't know it's dirty until we can see that dirt, so that we can clean it.
Yeah.
So we can't fix anything if we don't know it's broken.
Right. I want to talk more about December.
So so December has a lot of things. Okay. I know that right now I'm not supposed, yes, you can go online, look it up, please feel free. And I don't usually say that. I'm not big on that, but just please remember, don't believe every single thing you read. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
It's not it's not the third eye atlas as much right this minute as it is all the things that are happening between now and the end of December. So because to look at one, we have to understand the other first.
Okay.
So we have this full moon this month that is coming up, that is going to be a huge part of this energy shift. I think it's the beaver, but I'm not sure. But in just a few days, like I think Wednesday is the full moon.
Yeah.
Then on the 20th, 21st, we have a new moon that has a humongous energy attached to it.
Okay.
Then in December, going into December, we have, and I would love to tell you which one, I just can't remember, but we have something that is similar to a gate, like a lion's gate. It's not exactly the same. I cannot remember the astrological name, so I'm sorry, I apologize. And I didn't write it down. So that is happening. There's a lot in astrology that is happening. There's a lot of this planet moving into this this moon, or this moon moving into the Aries, or there's a lot of different things moving in the planets themselves. And I don't think it matters the logistics for general knowledge. I don't think it's, whether my moon is going into my 12th house, my 7th house, or my 10th house, only has to do with me. I don't think where it goes, because we are all different signs, it's going to be a little bit different for all of us. So it's not, to do that would take forever, but we can generalize it enough to say that a lot of things in the galaxy itself are going to be moving. And as they move, it is going to shift the energy of our planet and of our people and of our animals and everything else. So for me, and what the masters are telling me, is that the specifics for this talk aren't as important as us becoming comfortable with the fact that these energies are going to be coming and we are going to be affected. Now, don't go to, we should not go to a negative place of, oh, how it could affect us in a really good way. It's why it's kind of like this, because yeah, there are things that are not going to be peaches and cream, and then there's going to be things that are going to be absolutely fabulous. None of them are going to last forever. Hang on, ride the wave, ride the roller coaster. Do not give it energy. I think this is what they're saying is the most important part. Do not give it energy by ruminating about it.
Yeah.
Because we have to remember the golden rule. Whatever we put out there is what we're going to get back.
Mm.
And right now, remembering that is more important than ever. So if I put fear and anger or anxiety out there, I'm going to get fear and anger and anxiety back. But if I can take a breath, not react, or stop reacting, sometimes reaction is just a reflex, and so that's okay. Take a breath. Take a step back, figuratively. Take a step back. Take another breath. Open your eyes and say, oh, okay. I can see a bigger picture. I can see that this is something that we need to ride through so we can get over here to this over here. And when we do that, and the way we do that is we need to no longer pay attention to the things that upset us. And yes, they upset us, and I understand that. But if it's something that we have no personal control over, for right now, it's about backing up and finding our trust. We can call it trust, we can call it faith, we can call it positive reinforcement, we can call it any of those things we want, but it still boils down to the universe. This is their blueprint. This is their evolution, not ours. We are participants. We are supposed to participate, but the design is not ours. So being able to step back and let our mind rest for a minute, just a second, and say, okay, I can't fix that, but I can change this. And that's exactly what you did with your dad. You did what you had to do for yourself, and then you turned around and you walked away. We
Yes,
do that every, yes, you did. And we do that every single day. So examples of that would be if I want to lose weight and I go on a diet and I end up losing 25 pounds. I had to make changes in my life. I had to change the way I looked at food. I had to change the way I looked at exercise.
Yeah.
All of those things had to have the boxes ticked off. But once they were checked off, guess what? The change came.
Yeah.
But I wasn't looking at food shows. You know, I wasn't looking at the thing that was going to cause me anxiety about not eating as much or changing the way I ate. So I wasn't watching the Great Bake Off and watching cakes and pies come out of the ovens. That would defeat the whole purpose of what I was trying to achieve, because it would definitely not help me change my perception of what I was doing. It's the very same thing in this shift. It's a little bit bigger, on a little bit bigger scale, but the energy and the ability to do that is exactly the same. So when I hear people ask me quite often, I can't, or say, I guess they start with a statement, I can't do that. I'm only human. I can't do that. I do whatever. There's a plethora of things that come after that. Are you still living with your parents? Move out on your own. That's one of the biggest things in the world. Did you buy your first car? Did you have a child?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to work? Did you change jobs? If you can say yes to one or two of any of those, you know how to accomplish change in your life.
Mm.
Because this is bigger, it's a
Mm.
little scarier sometimes, but the ability to change what we need to change is absolutely the same as leaving a job that we've had for 15 years or having a child or anything else that we've changed. Again, good, bad, or indifferent, doesn't matter. The rules still apply.
When I just gotta throw in when you were talking about the I can'ts, I just have to share that for our listeners. When I do a scan of their aura, 9 times out of 10, the reason why they're suffering is an I can't. And I just have to point that out. I just have to point that because it's in the unconscious, but it's like 9 times out of 10, I can't, blah, blah, blah.
So I watched you. So for our listeners,
Mhm.
Becky and I and several other people attended a healing session, I guess, I can't think of a better word, on Saturday.
Mhm.
And I'm going to throw you under the bus for a minute, but it's
Okay,
because I
go
love
for
you.
it.
But Becky is a amazing medical intuitive.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. I say that for many reasons. None of them because she's my friend. That's over here, okay, for that conversation. But for many reasons, and one of the reasons is I can see auras, and I watch her when I get the opportunity. And she's working on an individual, and that individual is responding. And the exchange of energy and the dance and everything about it is simply fantastic. It is a joy to stand back and watch.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And but on Saturday there was a time, there were two times. So I'll throw myself under the bus in a minute, but the first one is you. So there was this one time when I was playing the crystal singing bowls. Okay, that was what I was doing. So while she's over there with other ladies healing, she absolutely could not make an entry into the energy because the energy was so dense.
Mm.
And so there was like this whole, I need to either throw it up or I need to spit it out or I need to do something. And so it was a very physical reaction for Becky when she started kind of scanning and started the healing process. It was like, okay, I have to shift something because I can't do this.
Mm.
And what I saw, and the reason you're getting thrown under the bus is what I saw was that aura of, I'm not worthy, I can't do this, I shouldn't be here.
Oh, how fun. Thank you. That's awesome.
So her reaction went with exactly what you were talking about. And it was like, yeah, I see that. Then the other thing, and it's only fair if I throw myself under there, is because I do hear the masters and I do see auras and in that situation,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still doing the bowls, and they say, go to Becky and say, left of center. And I'm like, huh? We didn't ask your opinion. We simply said, go to Becky, tell her left of center. So I find my way around the table with the bowls and I go, Becky, left of center. And you can see, yes, she still loves me, but she thinks I have completely lost my mind because she's trying to find left of center, and there's no such thing in what she's doing. It doesn't mesh, it doesn't click, it doesn't make sense. There is nothing in this person's body that is saying left of center. But she loves me anyway. But she's like, she's lost her mind, but I love her anyway. So she keeps working and doing her own thing, which is what she should have done. And that was beautiful. The next individual that gets on the table, Becky barely even gets her hand near the person and goes, oh my God, yes, left of center. This is it. Now I understand. So it is that energy. And I bring both of those things up because we are all going through this feeling of each other's energy, or knowing something and not knowing why, or yes, in my case it was the masters telling me, but that doesn't mean that everybody else in the world can't have the same knowing.
Yeah.
Knowing can come from your guides. Knowing can come from, they give us messages and we hear them somehow all day long when we listen. And but yeah, so that was very fun energy to be in for a little bit, because you felt everything you just described to us a few minutes ago. And it was, the minute you went in, it was like, I got to move it around. And what was blocking her so that you couldn't get in was her not worthy, shouldn't be here, can't do this. Now, my part in that, the part where I threw myself under the bus, was just to be fair. But the topic is exactly what you said. That is exactly what you feel on a lot of people right now, because 62% of the world population is in that space.
Yeah, it's such a detriment. It's such like it's like it's a virus. How else could like an infectious virus? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an energy virus.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the way that it's so insidious. It's unfortunate that it has to be there, or because can you imagine if humanity didn't have that plaguing it, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we do see where that is crumbling with everything else. Yes, it's slow, maybe not as fast, or maybe we don't know where to look to see those kind of things.
Yeah.
But if what I found for myself personally, nothing to do with any auras or masters or anything, but for me personally, is I've started watching and observing, whether it's the squirrels in the front yard, whether it's the people walking across the parking lot. We can see people's energy without being able to see auras. You can tell when the squirrels are getting their nuts or whatever, because there's a storm coming. If we really stop and pay attention, we're connected with each other enough that we can tell what that individual, person, place, or thing is doing, what they're thinking, why they're acting the way they're acting. The only time we aren't able to really see that for ourselves is when we are paying attention to all of the outside energies, all of the external things that are
Yeah.
getting in the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I can sit, you know, first I quit watching the news. Now I don't even watch the weather, and I used to be a weather junkie. And I realized the other day I have a weather app on my phone, and I just out of curiosity went back and looked to see when was the last time I was on it, and it had been 2.5 months.
Nice.
And we're in hurricane season. It's almost over, but and there's been storms out there. I never picked it up to see. I can't even tell you what letter we're on. I mean, you could tell me we were in the seas, and that would make just as much sense to me right now as if you told me we were in the W's. I really have no idea. I've heard people
Yeah.
talk about different storms, like in the grocery store or whatever, but I watch nature now.
Yeah.
Now, if you told me there was a Cat 5 and it was, 10 miles off the coast, I might turn on it. I'm not there, okay, where I wouldn't ever look at it. But I have found that not even consciously. I realized when I looked up to say, I was like, gosh, I haven't looked at this in forever. When was the last time? And out of curiosity, I looked. And then I started thinking, well, you really are watching the trees, and where's the wind coming from, and what is the barometer today, because I do have one of those. I have a barometer in my home, and so and I don't look at it every day, but it's there when I want to look at it, just like the thermometer is there when I want to look at it, but I'm not watching it all day every day. So I don't I haven't looked to see if it was a day for a jacket or a day not for a jacket yet. I'm sure at some point as it gets colder, I will, but simply paying attention to the sky, to what's going on, to nature, to reconnecting myself with nature. And that doesn't have anything to do with, no, I didn't go buy a tent. I'm not sleeping outside on the weekends. Doesn't mean I can't, but I don't have to be connected to nature. I can live on a second, third, fourth, whatever floor, and still of an apartment with asphalt, and still be connected to nature, and still observe nature, because that's all any of this energy shift is about our reconnecting to nature and what nature is, what its purest form is. We are disconnected, and we are becoming reconnected.
Yeah, when you're talking about nature, I'm thinking at the core, at the deepest level, it's our inner truth, right? That's
Yes,
our
ma'am.
nature. Yeah. Um, just listening.
And I was just going to say, our inner truth and the inner truth of the planet, plants, animals, the ocean, the ponds, the mountains. Our truth is our nature, but we are connected to that nature as well. And when you said that, I my heart was kind of like smiling of, isn't it interesting that our truth is called our nature? But everything in the animal plant kingdom is also called nature.
Yeah.
I don't think that is a coincidence.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It is really where our heart wants to be.
So,
Ego wants to be in charge, the king of the bee, or the head of the food chain, but our heart wants to be
hmm,
embedded with nature.
yeah. So I want to get your feedback on a funny coincidence to about nature. Um, so on Justin's birthday the other day, we were driving out wherever, and I saw a bunch of, it was getting dark, and I see a bunch of kittens. Can't now, you know me and cats, right? There's a bunch of kittens with a mom, and I'm like, what's going on over there? It's the first time I'm seeing these on his birthday. So I contacted my neighbor. I said, did you know? And then it turns out my neighbor said, you want them? More or less, what you want. More or less, they're a nuisance, and I'm scared. She's scared that they could get injured, like they were going underneath the hood of the car, and like all this stuff. And I'm like, so long story short, I have two of them in my backyard now, and my neighbor is trapping the other two, and hopefully the mother, and then we'll take it from there. So, and they're black on
Oh,
Halloween for Halloween. So I'm sitting here like, what a blessing to have these cute little kittens on Justin's birthday into Halloween, and they're black. They're all black. What are the odds? What are the chances? So
it's
that
yeah.
it just makes me so happy that that all that took place, and I'm just like, wow, what is the universe trying to tell me? It's just, I don't know, I just find it to be such a blessing.
Oh, it is a blessing. I think that's fabulous. I think that really is bringing a part of nature to you,
Yeah,
bringing your awareness to it. I think it's wonderful.
yeah, I thought it was a good sign, a good sign.
Yes, very good sign. Very good sign.
And then another just personal tidbit I just feel like sharing, my personal life for whatever reason. When I'm planning a trip in December. I guess because you mentioned about the changes in December, I'm planning a trip, and in praying about the dates of that trip, I was given very specific dates. Very specific. It had to be December 5th through December 9th. No 8th, no 4th, nothing. 5th through the, okay. It's just like, I'm like, okay, okay. And we're now, so the trip is booked, and I'm really looking forward to it. And now that you're telling me all this energy change, I'm thinking maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it was so specific. I don't know. I just thought that was fascinating.
Fascinating.
Yeah, don't
Um,
know.
yeah. Well, they told you when to be where they wanted you. That's how I always look at that. When
Yeah,
they're that
but
specific, it's like, I need to be here,
yeah. And maybe it's
period.
not for me. Maybe it's the group that I'm going with, but it's like these are the dates. Oh, it's like, okay, check, check. We'll find out what that's all about. But it's fun. And I'm like, okay, I'm not messing with this. Just not messing with it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to hearing about the whole adventure.
Right? Like the why.
Yeah,
Like, what's that all about? I don't know. So
yeah.
that's what I just want to interject with this energy is the kittens and this trip with very specific dates. But
I think I
yeah.
yes, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun. We'll see how it plays out. But I woke up, in talking about the craziness, what do you, I woke up with like this allergy feeling in my face and in my energy field, and I'm thinking, oh, the full moon on Wednesday. Like I concur with what you're talking about and what you've been finding with other people that you've been talking about. Like it's like a lot of strange. Just want to like validate for people the, some of the weird stuff. Like I had an interesting argument with my husband on Saturday night, which is very reminiscent of an energy pattern that I swore was broken, that it was cleared and it was back. And I'm like, what is going on? I thought I was done with this, right? It's that energy.
That
And
energy.
then, yeah, that energy. And then I had a day filled with not being able to get on the internet. I put a whole newsletter together and it didn't save, and now I have to do it over. And then this allergy thing, and I'm thinking, son of a bitch, there's a full moon on Wednesday. I'm like, I'm sure that's playing into this. So everyone just ride the wave.
By the way, that that exactly what you're talking about with your husband is exactly the energy that we were referencing
Yeah.
at the beginning of. And I think that's why that part of this is more important than what the third eye atlas is really about, is because
Okay.
that is the biggest thing. Is it's conjuring up right this minute, it's conjuring up that kind of stuff
Yeah.
where, oh my God, I thought I was done. And what happens is we have a tendency psychologically to beat ourselves up. There has to be a wrong or a right, or a to blame or a to not to blame. And in this situation, there are no blames. This is energy that, whether it's him, whether it's you, whether it's the neighbor down the street that happens to be on the same frequency, really doesn't matter.
Hmm.
What it is it's in cells. A cell, 12 cells, 110 cells, doesn't matter. There are cells in your body that are still on that frequency.
Yeah.
And so this energy, as it comes across, is almost like a magnet. It's almost like that's metal filings, and it's like, oh, hold on, gotta come to the surface.
That's a good visual, the metal filings. Yeah.
But it's
Hmm.
not anything anybody's doing. It's not,
Right.
oh, he pushed my buttons on purpose, or I pushed his buttons on purpose, or any of that.
Hmm.
It's simply the last part that needs to be released, so we have the freedom and the opportunity to move forward.
Amen to that.
So we can look at it as stuffing if we want to, since we're
Mm.
in November. um
Mm.
I have to take all the giblets and stuff out of the turkey if I'm going to put stuffing in there. If
Yeah.
I don't make room for what needs to go inside,
Hmm.
then I just have a complete mess.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I have to clean the turkey out. I have to get all the icky stuff out. I have to
Hmm.
clean it. Then I can take the stuffing or whatever I'm going to put in there, and put it in there, because there will be enough room in the space that I'm created
Hmm.
for the stuff I want to go in there.
And um, just for practical application, how this applies to me, what I was going to put in that newsletter, and what I have shared with a couple of friends, is that I'm taking the rest of the year off to make room. To your point with the analogy of the turkey, is my house is too cluttered and enough already, and if I need to make room for the new. So I'm not, that's where my attention is going. Not that I'm not working or anything like that, but my focus is on making room. And I love that. I love that. And it might be 2 months, it might be 3 months. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I love it. Absolutely love that you said that. Yeah.
So we I'm known in my practice for giving homework.
Oh,
um
crap.
oh
Me
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Me too.
Yes, yes. and Becky, bless her, has been on the receiving end of some of my homework. So I'm gonna give homework to to our friends that are listening. As we go into the holidays, and we are around people, places, and things that we are not normally, that are not normally in our day-to-day energy field. Okay, so some people will be going to see people for Thanksgiving, and some people will be shopping for Christmas, or there's all kinds of ways that, like you said, vacation. So going to wherever you're going. I have a friend who's going to Paris for Thanksgiving, over the Thanksgiving holidays. So there's a lot of there's just a lot coming up right now because of the holidays, where we will be in situations that are not our normal day to day. The homework is to be observant, not to be looking for negatives, not to be looking for positives, not to be preconceived anything, to simply observe. Observance of self. Am I getting anxious because my plane's been postponed, or am I getting anxious because I'm on an interstate? Am I getting anxious because, oh my gosh, we're going to the in-laws? Doesn't matter what it is. Start with self. What is it that I am observing during this Thanksgiving holiday season about myself? What do I notice that is different? Again, it's not about looking for negatives. It's not looking for positives. It's about looking for differences. And they can be either one or neutral, but still a difference. And then after I kind of, so I do that, and then I kind of spread out. Do I notice a difference in people on the road with me? Do I notice a difference? People at work? Do I notice the sky's the limit? Don't have to do anything with it. Do not have. You can make notes and look for patterns if you want to. That's always a fun thing to do. But that's not part of the exercise. The exercise is to become aware in the moment of what we're seeing. Maybe there's no difference. Maybe you don't notice anything. That is simply as important as noticing big changes. Everything has its place, and everything is gives us information. Simply being aware of our surroundings and being present in the moment of what's going on around us. And then after you've done that a couple of times, next time, take a step back, see the focus, and then step back and see if you can see the broader picture. And then maybe step back again and see if you can see the broader picture. Not going to give a whole lot of examples because I don't want to give preconceived ideas any more than I already have. It's simply an exercise. Nobody's reporting, nobody's getting graded on anything. But see how far you can see things from a different understanding than when you started.
Yeah,
and
good advice.
Yeah, if you don't feel like you're doing it, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. Because you really are. You're doing more than you think you are. It goes back to that we are all worthy. We are all capable. We are all doing. Sometimes we can't see how how far we've come, or how much we do understand, or how much we do feel, or how much we do see. So this is simply an exercise that we can do for the next few weeks to see if anything comes up. You know, if somebody has something that they really want to ask about, they can always, you know, send the question and we can address it anytime. But I think everybody will find something in themselves that they didn't know was there, that they will be pleasantly surprised with.
I like it. That's a good homework. And may I add, keep a journal, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Maybe look for
And
patterns and I don't know.
yeah, patterns are great. We when we're doing this work and we're doing it with on a mindful or emotional level, we create grids of patterns so that we have a visual, um, and we usually do that in session. Sometimes I will simply do it in my head for time, you know, because of only having so much time in a session, and then we'll talk about it. And then sometimes it's like, okay, here's a piece of paper, here's a pen, you know, start the grid here, and we draw the grid together and work through it, so that we can start finding patterns. And then the homework is to take the grid home and to continue looking for patterns, because patterns do tell us where our original trauma lies.
Ouch. And in which case they need an appointment with you ASAP.
So, but it gives us so much more information because we've stifled, our subconscious has stifled that information. And so we don't even know why we're anxious or upset or whatever, because we don't even know that there was a trauma to begin with. Trauma could have happened when we were 2. It could have happened in a past life. It could have happened, who knows? It could have happened yesterday and I just couldn't deal with it and I just suppressed it. So when we can see patterns, we know, oh, this is where we need to start. This is where we need to go.
All the fun stuff. I love that type of work. So yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
This was like chock full of stuff that I hope everyone can carry this into the holiday season. And yeah, I hope that we have helped you in advance
Yes.
for your holiday season.
And I promise we will be more specific next time, on before December 1st, on what is actually going on. But for right now, that's a whole, we've already overloaded per se. So that would simply be way more. So we have to start with how to embrace this new energy and not be fearful of it, because it's not here to harm us in any way. And so to embrace that because it's new. I'm not going to say, because we are remembering, and I am not saying that we have never had this happen before. We have, and it's documented, but it does create huge change. And we're not used to that. We already have a lot of changes going on anyway. And so today was about, I hope, was about knowing that these feelings and energies and things that are coming up are normal, and they're not punishments, they're not failures, it is simply one more step, one more dose of medicine, so to speak. One more cure, one more way of extracting something. We fill in the blank, however you feel most comfortable with it. But that's what it is, and it's not anything sinister or anything any more than bringing our awareness to the fact that this is going to be happening, and that takes away the anxiety and the fear, because if we know it and we understand it, it's not scary anymore.
Yeah, and surrender to it and just allow it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It is what it is. Just ride the wave.
Either way. Yes.
Well, thank you, everyone. I'm going to pause here, and as usual, we don't know where we're going from here, but this is a good place to pause. And until next time.
Thank you, everybody.